My name is Jennifer Eckenwiler, but most people just call me Jen. I am studying mass communications here at Rochester, and I am in the fully online accelerated program. I am in my third semester here, and if all goes well, I will be graduating this May. Outside of school, I work as the Next Gen Marketing Coordinator at Grace Community Church in Detroit, where I design promotional materials, help plan events, and manage all social media accounts for the student and children's ministries. I have grown up at this church, so it is a little bit strange working where I also worship, but the people are amazing and I really do love the work environment there and the work that I get to do. One experience that I have tried that was extremely uncomfortable for me was actually just a few weeks ago at work. Like I said, I help plan ministry events at my church, and we were promoting an event that I was actually in charge of, so I was the one that gave the announcement to the congregation alongside my boss, the children's director. We did film the video of the announcement ahead of time instead of performing the announcement live, which was such a relief because I hate public speaking, but nonetheless, I was super nervous and didn't really know how it was going to end up looking. Thankfully, we did great, and we're told that we had great energy and presented the information really well. I don't think that would have had the same response if I were to have had to perform it live, but it was a huge relief to have done it successfully. On page 37 of our textbook, in Chapter 2, the author states that social networks like Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn allow people all over the world to share content and connect with people and companies they do business with. I love this statement because it highlights social media in such a positive way. Nowadays, we hear a lot about how we are all using social media too much and that it's rotting our brains, but I truly believe that when we view it in this way, it allows us to connect with each other and learn from each other. It can have a much more positive impact on us. Personally, I use social media very often. I am on almost all of the social media platforms that you could think of: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, LinkedIn, you name it. I don't use TikTok and I don't post on YouTube regularly, but I do view videos from both of those sites once in a while. If I had to guess, I probably check Instagram and Facebook 5 to 7 times a day, Twitter and Pinterest once or twice a day, and LinkedIn probably every few days. But I use Snapchat way more frequently than I can even count. Most of the time when I do check social media, it's only for about 5 minutes at a time, but that definitely adds up pretty quickly. And when I do check social media at night, it's much, much longer. And then my job also includes social media, so when I take that into consideration, it really adds up, and I use social media pretty often. Primarily, I use social media to intentionally keep up with my friends and families and what they're doing in their lives, but I also check social media because of FOMO, fear of missing out. I never want to be the last to know anything, whether it's breaking news or something that just happened within my community of friends. But since I check it so frequently, I do end up receiving my news from social media sites because I see whatever pops up on my news feed. I don't consciously seek out news on social media, but more often than not, it just ends up happening that way. One company that I think does a really good job connecting with the people online is Netflix, primarily on Instagram. Netflix often posts funny screenshots and memes about popular shows on their streaming service and react to the shows as though they are part of the audience. They mash some shows together to form memes, attach hard eyes to attractive actors, and try to relate to the characters in the shows as well as their audience. They oftentimes also respond to comments from their followers, which is actually pretty uncommon for companies to do. To older generations, I think the Netflix Instagram page may appear unprofessional or even silly, but to the target audience of Instagram users, which is people my age and even quite a bit younger, it's the perfect content for them. Netflix knows how to make their audience laugh and makes their posts enjoyable instead of only promoting new shows and trying to gain traction for their service. Especially since Netflix is also a company that a majority of people already use, they don't really need to focus on sales as much. So I think it is a great way for them to connect with their audience and build that relationship through entertaining content. It also just makes me feel like I'm connecting with them and like an actual person rather than just a brand or company, which holds my interest much more than just a business page would. I personally love evaluating social media and digital strategies, especially because of the role that I hold at my job right now. So I'm super excited to see what the rest of you all have to say this upcoming semester. See y'all soon.